All right, so you're scrolling through YouTube, you found me, go get a golf club because I'm actually going to teach you right now, play around with me, the perfect one golf grip that is anatomically correct for you to have centrifugal force in your golf swing. I'm not going to say this far back from the camera. I'm actually going to come really kind of close, and you're going to see a close-up of my hands, and we're going to talk about hands and arms and the path as we go in relation to this. So I'll wait for you. Go get your golf club. Okay? Now that you got your golf club, I'm now going to zoom in. See, it's not about me. I don't care about my face, okay? Because I really wanted to get really close so you guys can see this. So everybody talks about, okay, how the hands hang and all that. I'm literally going to talk about the joints and exactly the correct place that the golf club should be for every single person on the planet that plays golf that wants to have an anatomically correct grip that doesn't have to think about much. And I'm going to talk about the details, okay? So you're going to put it right in this second joint right here, and it's going to lie right across the finger to the top part right here of the pinky. There's no reason to sit there and say phalanx and joints. I'm just literally going to sit there and just make it as super simple as possible as it goes across. So I'm going to put it right there, as you can see, right across the next one, across that one, across that one. Now, I'm choking way down. There's a reason. One is that you can see the grip easily. This pad, I'm coming here this way. Look how much this pad here is on top of the golf club. Now, when I say on top, and I'm going to cover everything, okay? So not this way. See, I rolled my hand over. This pressure of this pad is on top of this grip. I see so many people have it here, which is dead incorrect, and I'll explain why. Okay? And or way in the fingers, then you won't have control. So it has to lie obliquely across it, just like that, okay? Now I'm talking to John Q. Public, the people that are doing things with big palm grips and natural golf. I can't speak to you, okay? So you see, I'm kind of going up a little bit further. Now, see how this little part right here is kind of the fattest part of the grip? It sticks out. This has to happen, okay? Now, there's a reason. If you grip it all the way to the end, now it is not in the same place. It's now in the palm more, and my wrist is, I'm screwed here, okay? So, get your grip right there. Here's how you can tell that you're correct. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'm gonna grab my arm, okay? This is arm, forearm. Actually, I'm grabbing my forearm, okay? I'm just going to move my hand back and forth where I'm gonna come back out of circle here for a second so you can see me. So I want the toe of the club to be up and pointed on my toe line and on my toe line on the other side over here. If you can do this, this is a correct grip, just like that. Now, watch how that, and I'm telling you, every single person that comes to me that I do with Zoom golf lessons or in-person lessons, if they haven't done and paid attention to the grip, 99% of the time I got to change their grip. Okay, and that changes the path of the hands and the face and everything. So all I'm going to do now is just fractionally. I mean, this is fractionally over. So now this is now over a little bit. I now have pressure up into here. And I want you guys to do that. I want you to do it wrong to do it right. I want you to understand there's only one uncompromised correct position of the hand. So if you cock it back now, you have to lift, and you'll feel some pressure in here if you're doing this correct. And then it will be much slower, and it'll be much more muscular involved, okay? So obviously it's only going to get worse the further over that you go. This is a strong grip / incorrect, okay? Now, when I do that, now I can move pretty easy this way, still see some pressure right here. But then when I come through, you'll see that I'm really restricted, and look how my elbow and my arm is locked. When you have the correct grip, when this hand goes back, this elbow slightly bends. That's what's supposed to happen, because that's how you're built anatomically, okay? and then that'll set the golf club up for the next part. So this is really, 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 really critical. Now I'm gonna go slightly left where people talk about the thumb has to be right on top. Okay, don't know what they're talking about. This right here is a weak grip, and you'll have a wrist that is bowed at the top of your golf swing, and that is a manipulation. Okay, so now from here, I'm gonna try to make that same little motion of the hand going this way. Now look what my elbow has to do that. It has to go out. So that's what's gonna happen in your golf swing. If you try to get the golf club on plane, your elbow is going to go out. So how does the wrist bone want to work when the grip is weak or to the left? This way. See? This way. Now, are you guys ready? Here it is for my lefties. You can do the exact same. I'm going to do the exact same thing right across this way. You can clearly see it's the exact same. Hands here. Same little motion right there. You grip the club weak, it's going to go this way, like so. So this is one of, if there's such a thing, and I hate the word secret, okay? But I felt like I've been sitting on this a while where people don't understand the importance of this and how it changes absolutely everything, okay? So when you put your lead hand on it and you get here, and you get here, you're now in the beginning of a semicircle. Now, and it is not just a lead arm motion. It is not just a trail arm motion. Your brain can figure out which one it is that you like, but as long as the grip is correct, you can backhand or you can underhand throw, or you can have passive hands and arms. I don't care, okay? Now, the right hand, or trail hand, however you want to say it, is going to be, the pinky is going to lay right on top. Now, there is a reason. You do not put it in the groove. If you put it in the groove, you will literally change the muscle structure of the hand as it goes down, okay? So the pinky's on top, and you're going to put it all in the second joint. Like so. Then it curls over where this lifeline right here is on the thumb. But I do not, and I meet this, I do not squeeze down on top of it. If I squeeze down on top of it, I have too much tension, okay? Now I'm just going to do the hand by itself. So I want to show you that when you take the club back, this wrist bone now does this. Now in both of these motions, if you put your other finger on it, you can also see that this is a little double pendulum. See how that works? So do that. If you do this, now that's a line. Okay, that's linear motion. This is centrifugal. Now, the golf club accelerates when this left wrist goes into extension this way, right? Or a backhand motion, or however you want to do it. And when they both go together, you'll see that this little pendulum motion happens, right? So if this right hand, now here's where it gets crappy, okay? If this right hand is over too much, that will then make the forearm over rotate, and the golf club will have a tendency to go outside. Okay, just like that, it'll go outside. If it is under, and you'll see how the elbow tucks under, and the hand is now under the golf club, well, your wrist will now rotate this way. And the elbow will tuck in too much, okay, which is incorrect. So once it's here, now these can work in pairs. Now, let's get into the fun stuff, okay? So as you can see, I'm gonna put just a little golf club down here for shaft reference. You guys can see that pretty easy. So when I take the club back with that same little motion that you just learned, you'll see that the shafts are parallel to each other. You'll see that the golf club now points at the shaft, and this shaft is from here to eternity, okay? So I want you guys to understand that. So that wherever the club head points is your target line. So you can see that that club now is on that line. there it's on that line, and there it's on that line. Now my golf club is on a perfect plane right here. So as I swing now, my hands go on the other side. Now I'll back up a little bit and show you this way for a second, and you tell me what you see, okay? That's also now a left-handed backswing. Right-handed backswing, left-handed backswing. If you have the correct grip, this golf club can go here and here. I can't stress this enough, how critical this is, that if you want to take the club back in one piece, you can, okay? Now, it's not a perfect circle. However, if the grip is correct, and again, there's only one anatomically correct grip. I want to straight that again. There's only one anatomically correct grip. Doesn't mean, and you can leave all the comments you want about how every golf pro that has a strong or a weak grip, they're world-class golf pros. They're not you, okay? Every one of you want to turn the body first, have an incorrect grip, have the arm locked, and have a chicken wing through the ball. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about tour pros. Tour pros can do so much more than you guys can that it's silly. And by the way, John Rahm, Finau, David Duval, anybody who's had a anatomically different grip will also then have to make manipulations and compensations in their golf swing. They just do it in a world-class manner. That's it, okay? So there might be some people at your club that are low handicaps. They have like tour-like manipulation of their hands, but that's not you, okay? I'm talking about average John Q. public here. So I want you to feel that when your hands go back, that the butt of the club points at the ball. Now, if you take the club back and say the bucket motion, that's fine. You can see that this soft part of the bone is on top here, and so my wrist will still hinge over the shoulder. So that brings up the final point of this, is that no matter if I'm, well, a couple points. If I'm lead leg, or if I'm trail leg, or if I'm bent leg, or it doesn't matter. My grip doesn't change, so therefore my swing will stay on some form of a circle or a plane and an arc that I don't have to manipulate much. Okay? So that's the reason why I can teach all these different styles, is because this is here and I've trained my hands and arms to do the proper thing. There are a lot of people that come to me that ground force means diddly squat. I mean jack crap if your grip is not correct and that you can't put force into the club head. Everybody talks about ground forces, but there's also a club head force. So there's a circle. There's the one guy talks overhand golf. You know, the club head, you hit back here. Well, that's true in a circle. As you're swinging it through, the club head goes this way as it goes around the other side. So this little butt of the club pointed at the ball over here on the other side teaches you left wrist extension. I want you guys to kind of play around with this, and hopefully at home, point the butt of the club at the ball and keep your arms the same radius, and you have a pretty darn good golf swing. Now, if I did this right here and turned my hand right here, I have a left-handed backswing. Now I got a left-handed follow through. I'm not left-handed, okay? But I can point the butt of the club at the ball here and here, okay? Now I don't have dynamic motion because I'm not left-handed, okay? So, but you guys hopefully can see this, okay? So once you get this correct grip, this is the hand action. If I told somebody, take this golf club and put it over your shoulder, it's your hands that do it. It's not your arms. It's not your body. It's not your feet. It's not ground pressure. It's your hands. Right over your shoulder. There's your backswing. And there's your follow through. You can do this at home. Not a big deal. I mean, I laughed my butt off the other day. I watched a guy going like, oh my God, I can't believe this revolutionary drill from Chris Como. Dude, it wasn't from Chris Como. It was way back in the day, Harvey Penick, and probably way back in the day before him that we probably don't even know. It was cock the club up in front of you and turn your body to the side. I mean, I've known that drill since 1983, okay? So, you know, we all are just saying the things to help you guys see an image and a pattern that's been around since the beginning of time, because the human body hasn't changed since the beginning of time. So when I say this, this is what all the greats did. This is how the hands work. If you clap your hands, then your wrists right here are restricted this way. So you won't have as much wrist cock. So the hands can go over the shoulder and the fingers don't stay open. All right, that's enough of that. I hope you guys can see this and that this is hopefully super game changing for you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. I've got a Zoom special lesson going on right now. From there, you guys have been great. It's Thanksgiving week. Like I said, like, subscribe, share. God bless you all. Leave comments. Thank you so much.